The evolution of video games. From the Magnavox Odyssey to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, video games have completely changed over the last 50 years. From competing with friends in your room to competing live in front of millions of viewers online for millions of dollars, video games have become a business and job to many people. Competitive video games even have their own name now, called esports or electronic sports. Sites such as MLG are huge contributors to hosting esports tournaments, online or live events for almost any game you can think of. In this speech, I will take us back to the 70s when the first video game systems started to arrive on the scene, so now when video games are jobs for some people, earning more money than you could ever imagine. So what are the first generation of video games? There are 8 total generations of video games starting from 1972 to now. The first video game system released was the Magnavox Odyssey. Priced at $100, it was the world's first home video game system and used black and white graphics, and you had to actually take a plastic overlay and set it on your, stick it to your TV screen to get the best playing experience. The next video game system released was in 1972, and it was the Atari Pong. The Atari Pong was the first tennis game, and it wasn't actually like tennis. It wasn't like 2 people on the sides of the net playing tennis. It was 2 walls moving up and down the screen, and there was a ball bouncing in the middle, and you had to move the walls and hit the ball like this, and keep going up and down. There were many clones of the Atari Pong, but nowhere near as successful as the Atari Pong. And the last video game system released in the very first generation was in 1976, and it was released by Fairchild. It was called the Channel F system, and it was the very first video game system to use colors as well as removable cartridges. Like the Nintendo 64, you had to put a cartridge in. The Fairchild F was the first system you had to use a cartridge. In the current generation of video games, or any video game system that was released from 1998 to current day. The first system was Sony's PlayStation 2, introduced in October 2002. It was one of the most advanced systems at the time, using a 32 megabyte memory system, and in a 4-year span, it sold over 60 million units. Microsoft entered the video game market in November 2001 with a widely anticipated Xbox system. It made a massive jump from the PlayStation 2's 30 megabytes memory system to a 10 gigabyte hard drive. This blew many people's minds, never thinking that a video game system had that much storage. In the first 2 years of being in production, it sold over 10 million units. Also in November of 2001, Nintendo released the GameCube. The GameCube was Nintendo's very first non-cartridge gaming system, using a very small disc, about this big in size. And the GameCube wasn't as successful as the Xbox or the PlayStation 2, and over the last 15 years has only sold 13 million units. In 2005, Microsoft returned with the Xbox 360, the most modern system at the time, featuring online services to play with people all around the world. It didn't matter where you were, you could play with someone. If you lived in the United States, you could play someone in Britain, anywhere around the world. And over a 9-year span, from 2005 to 2014, over 84 million Xbox 360s were sold. In 2006, the PlayStation 3 was Sony's 3rd major system, and their biggest success out of all of their systems, selling over 80 million consoles. Nintendo released the Wii, which is the first of its kind video game system, requiring you to use the controller and actually get up and move to play the video games. Unlike the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, you can just sit there all day, use just your hands. The Wii, it required, if you wanted to play tennis, you had to actually get up and swing the controller. If you wanted to bowl, you had to actually pretend that you were bowling. And it was a major hit worldwide, and the best-selling console, selling 101 million units. The latest and greatest consoles out now are the Wii U, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. The Wii U, being released in 2012, gives some of the same concepts as the Wii, except for incorporating a bigger controller and new types of games. The PS4 and Xbox One were both released fall of 2013. The Xbox One, Microsoft's 3rd major console, was seen as a big letdown to many people, not adding very many upgrades from the Xbox 360 and completely changing their interface and their controller, which made a lot of people who were diehard Xbox fans were like, well, if we have to switch, we learned so much new stuff for this new system, we'll just switch to the PS4, because the PS4, the hard drive, memory, everything like that is much greater than on the Xbox One, which created, from the PS3 to the PlayStation 4, was leaps and bounds of differences, giving the PS4 a head and race for the console wars. And that information was found on BGR.com. Video games playing for fun versus playing to compete. I imagine back in the 70s when the Atari Pong first came out, two kids at school talked about their high scores, and they would go home and they would play each other to see who got the best high score. Today with video games, there are major leagues and major championships held all around the world for several millions of dollars. Most major tournaments are held on computers, and those games that are played on the computer are Dota 2, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, and Counter-Strike Go. All major tournaments have been primarily held on the Xbox system, starting with competitive Call of Duty and Halo on the Xbox 360, and even now on the Xbox One. Dota 2 International was a weekend-long tournament, Friday through Sunday, viewed by over 20 million people and held a prize pool of $18 million. The team that won was Evil Geniuses, and each player on the 4-man roster received $1.5 million. The Call of Duty Championship this year was a $1 million tournament, invite only the 32 teams from around the world. This tournament was won by Denial Esports, giving each player on the team $100,000. 2 of the 4 players on the team were still in high school at the time, seniors in high school. I could never imagine going back to my high school and be like, yeah guys, I played in a video game tournament this weekend and just won $100,000. Like, people are not going to believe you when you say that. It's an incredible amount of money. And video games are also used to entertain people on sites such as YouTube and MLG, like through live streaming and posting videos. The #1 most subscribed YouTuber, PewDiePie, uses video games and his personality to entertain over 27 million subscribers. And he makes over $4 million in just ad revenue off his video. So whenever you're on YouTube and the ad plays at the beginning of the video, that's paying those people. People make a lot of money off that. And ad revenue is mostly straight profitable money. It's not taxed. And with PewDiePie, he makes $1.25 for every 1,000 views. So say he gets 500,000 views on a video, times $1.25, that's $625,000 for that video. But it's not straight profitable money, it's very taxed. So like he might get $100,000 for that video, which is still an incredible amount of money if he's posting videos every single day of the week. I mean, it's incredible. So from the Magnavox Odyssey to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, video games have completely revolutionized over the last 40 years. It's amazing to think playing a video game can make you a millionaire. You never think just sitting there with a controller in your hand, next day you have so much money. Winter in 2014, I tried myself getting into competitive Call of Duty. I used the MLG website to form a team and practice hours a day with these people. We ended up entering a tournament online, and all of us paid $100, so $400 total to enter this tournament. It was a $4,000 prize for the first team, and we ended up winning that tournament. Going downstairs and showing my parents on the bank app on my phone that I just won $1,000 blew their minds that the past 2 weeks I've been sitting in my room not doing anything except for playing Call of Duty, and then I have $1,000 to show for it. That winter I ended up winning $2,500 in online tournaments, but was forced to quit because of baseball season coming up. This is how video games have completely revolutionized and changed the lives of many people in the world, including my own. Thank you.